watched the first episode again because it was that good. I think the main thing that I wasn't too focused on before was the game, which I do think now that that's going to be a bigger issue, because the first time around watching it, I thought Crenshaw was going to win, especially after the speech that they gave with Chris and Frosto. So when they announced that Beverly had ended up winning, I was like, oh, they had to make the move somehow, because I guess it would have been too much of a high for them to win like that with Spencer and the build-up that they had leading to the game, and then everything that was going on with Spencer in the, not only the finale, but also this episode back with him dealing with Coop. So I was like, oh, they just had to make it to where, he gotta lose for once, But I also peeped, because I did see it going around about Billy with the footage that he was watching, that it looked like Chris had got it over the line, which I looked back and I was like, oh snap, he did. So yeah, they got played. I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially if Billy's the one to try to bring it to light, considering the fact that, Jordan's his son and he's on the Beverly team. So I'm interested to see how that's going to affect their relationship going forward, because, Jordan, he hyped right now. He think he won. And if his dad is the one to come on and be like, nope, negative, it was us, look at this, he gonna be upset. So, but now going into next week's episode, I ain't going out like that. I want to say this feels like it's gonna be the best season, but there were so many great changes that happened last season. So I'm just like, man, it's hard. That's hard to try to make that call right now. So we won't hold off on next week's episode. I think the main thing that's going to take place is the conversation that needs to be had between Billy and Spencer, because clearly he's not over it, Billy. And Spencer, you can tell he's hurt by the situation, because this is Billy. He means something to him. I think that this is where it's going to fully come to a head. I think after this, that's it for the most part. Whether Billy decides to forgive him, Spencer would just, at this point, he'll be like, you know what, I'm done trying to put myself out there and make these attempts at trying to make you forgive me, trying to explain myself. I think this is where both of them will be able to get everything that needs to be said, or that they want to say, off of their chest in this episode. And however they both take what's being said, that's just what it is. So for Spencer, he has a lot on his plate right now. His best friend is just getting out of the hospital. He has this new relationship. The girl he used to be with now lives up in the house with his new girl. So he got a lot he's trying to juggle. I think this is going to be kind of a changing point for him, in terms of him doing what's best for himself. I feel like he'll now start to fully put himself first. Now that he signed his letter to Toledo State, Coop's out of the hospital, and I think with the conversation that he had with everyone about him, basically choosing yourself and doing what's right for you, taking that leap and not letting fear keep you from doing what you want to do in life. I think also for him, the big thing with Billy is that Billy to him is a father figure, and he cares about what Billy thinks, how Billy sees him. What also gets me though is, see, Billy is talking to Liv, and he's like, oh, Spencer's doing what's best for him, you should do the same. She is. She's with Spencer. I think what annoys me the most about that comment is the fact that when Liv was fresh out of rehab, not too long, she's back in school in the beginning, and Jordan, even Mama Laura, and Papa Billy, none of you are really paying her that much attention. And Spencer's the one who, she doesn't even know this kid. He's brand new. He's fresh out of Crenshaw. And he's the one that's actually there, not only listening to her, but he's also opening up to her. And they start to build this connection from the jump. And you don't have a problem with it that entire time. And now, because you're all in your feels about this situation now with Jordan, he's not what's best for her. That's so petty. Had he not come into her life, I doubt she would have the relationship that she has today with you guys, because you'd still be ignoring her and going about your own lives. You'd still be more focused on Jordan and football and your marriage that was over there struggling than you would be on her. You know what's crazy is this situation with Spencer and Billy and Jordan, and if I'm not mistaken, it came up in the finale of season 3. Let me know if that's not accurate. I think he told him in the season finale. I'm pretty sure he told him in the season finale that, you know, he was training Jordan, and that's where Billy got all upset. We just had the premiere of season 4, but it feels like this thing between him and Spencer was something that started maybe like towards the end of season 3 and not in the last episode, because it feel like it's been going on for so long, and I'm over it, y'all. I'm so over it. I also think it's because now every time we see Billy, this is his storyline. This is what it is. He doesn't have much else going on. Whereas with Spencer, you know, he had the whole Coop, he has Liv, he was dealing with other things. He had the game. Billy, every time they've showed him since Spencer told him, he's always upset. He's only really been interacting with Spencer. I think that's what's annoying me. It's just because he doesn't have much else going on. Now going into next week's episode, this is still going to be his thing. Is him being upset still. You can't even be happy that your daughter is in this new relationship where she's truly happy. She's doing very well in her recovery, and she's in this relationship with someone who's supposed to be like a son to you. He's mad because he couldn't do it. He's also mad because he had to stop playing early. So he need to come to terms with that. He hasn't done that. And the fact that he possibly could have trained Jordan had Jordan come to him, but Jordan didn't even come to him. That's also what I think it is. Because Jordan went to Spencer and not his dad, because, yo, I covered for you once. You didn't trust me enough to come and tell me this, that you were going to do it regardless of what the doctor said. No, he went to Spencer because Spencer was once in a situation where he wasn't going to be able to play football again. That was something he didn't know if he would be able to do, and he got himself back out there. Him and some doctors. He got himself back out there. So he went to where he knew he had a strong possibility of getting back out on that field. And Billy's tight because of that. It's also just sad that Liv is in the middle of what's happening with the two of them, because this is your dad. This is your boyfriend. But honestly, she's gonna be on Spencer's side. So I think she is going to try to be the one to bring them back together, since they can't seem to do it on their own. Honestly though, I feel like it might be Jordan. I think he's the one this whole thing is happening over. I think it might come down to him talking to his dad and being like, listen, this was on me. He didn't have a choice, basically. I was gonna do it regardless, and he stepped up. I know I made a big deal about it when he told you and everything, but ultimately it was on me. So, I mean, Jordan, I feel like this is going to be a season where he grows. He needs a lot of growth though, because he don't be all the way there. Jordan be all over the place. I feel like he's very selective when it comes to him being there for other people, taking responsibility. He needs a lot of help. He needs a lot of work. I do think with Layla coming into the house, this is something that will allow him to be there for others a lot more. It'll be a good learning for him. Give him some practice. I think that'll be another area where he'll put some of his energy into outside of football, because it's someone he cares about. So I think next week that's something we'll see slowly start to grow more, is him just trying to make sure she feels safe and that she is dealing with everything in the right way that happened with her and Carrie. I mean, by the end of this season, Jordan, he may be in my top 5. Right now, he's like number 6, 7. So we'll see. Oh, so Coop and Patience. This, I feel like, is going to be where it starts for them next week, with Patience girl letting her know, I'm upset with the way you've been going about things. Coop's going to be out of the hospital, fresh out, wound and all. Patience girl we're all having trouble dealing with what happened including her. You know what I like about Patience? I like the fact that she's so vocal and she doesn't hold anything back. So it doesn't seem like she does. The whole JP thing, but that was also because that JP situation where her song being taken was something that happened to her and it affected her. Whereas all the other times that she's been very vocal, it's been for other people and she's cared about them. Coop. So I think for this situation here, she's gonna waste no time to speak up because yes, it does affect her, you know, because homework, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know if she was going to lose the girl or not. But at the same time, it's for Coop as well to let her know you can't keep making these choices clearly because look where it got you. So it's also for her own safety. I think with next week's episode is where we'll start to see kind of a shift in their relationship because Coop is gonna come out, I feel, as if she's ready to bounce back, like she's recovering from it pretty quickly, when in reality, no girl, you need time. You wanna let her know. Either something's gotta change or I'm out. And I don't see Coop trying to make that change right now. So I think Patience girl is going to be out. But next week is just going to be the start of that conversation. So it looks like we get Asher. And homie still looks sad. He looked like how Patience looked last episode because, minus the tears, but because of his condition and he can't play anymore. So I think for him, it's trying to figure out where he goes from here. Now, I think he'll probably have a talk with Coach Montez to see where he's at mentally and where he can go from here going forward. Dang, that sucks. This is the end of his senior year. This is going to be a tough end for him. I like his relationship more with Coach Montez than with Papa Billy because I feel like with Coach Montez, she really cares about him and she wants what's best for him. Not saying that Billy doesn't, but it just feels more motherly with Coach Montez. I think also it's because his mom wasn't in his life for a long time and that wasn't a very strong relationship that he had. I think when it comes to Coach Montez, for me, she feels like that motherly figure to him, and she cares. Like, to me, she seems like she cares. So I think it'll be easier for him to talk it through with her than with anyone else, and hopefully he can have that conversation next week. So we have a party, and it's bringing, it looks like Spencer and Layla back together. Not together as a relationship, don't take that as I said it. Together, whereas they're cordial and they can have a conversation with each other. But I think it'll stem from him dealing with Coop and him making the decision to commit to Toledo and her with the Carrie situation. So they're gonna be talking. You good? You good? I heard you was going to some things too. And that'll be a starting point. Nowhere near being friends. It's just making sure you alright. Yeah, alright, good. I just wanted to check, make sure. And that's it. But it's nice that they seem like they'll be able to have a conversation with each other and not take each other's heads off. And because they both love Liv, y'all. I'm gonna give it to Layla now. She love Liv deep down. She don't know how to show it sometimes, but she love Liv. They can't avoid each other. She's in the house now. He gonna be over there too. So that'll be awkward. When she moved in, I wasn't even thinking of the fact that one, when she first got with Spencer, it was in the Baker household. Two, he is going to be over there a lot because of Liv. And three, the biggest one, she's now moved in and they used to be in this whole relationship with each other. I wasn't thinking of all that. Now looking at it, I'm just like, ugh. But I think with her, because she's dealing with the whole Carrie situation still, and he has a lot on his plate. Plus, he gonna be more scared going over there, worried about Papa Billy rather than Layla. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out amongst all of them. Oh, and then Simone, because She been MIA. But I feel like she's gonna be here next week, and I feel like we're gonna start to see the disconnect between her and Jordan, because Jordan's gonna be focused on other things, and she's also thinking about her future and where she's gonna end up going to college and everything. I think we'll start to see more roadblocks in their relationship, probably starting next week, y'all, because we gotta get a move on. So those are my thoughts, and I will see you all for next week's episode next week.